Yesterday, the Pentagon released something it had kept sealed for years. 40 files, 14 documents, 19 videos, 4 audio recordings, pulled from the vaults of the Pentagon, NASA, the CIA, the FBI, and the Department of Energy, all at once. Among them, a security team's encounter with an object hovering silently over one of America's nuclear weapons facilities. A Navy pilot with 28 years of experience describing something he had never seen before in his life, and a 1949 meeting of the same physicists who built the atomic bomb quietly trying and failing to explain strange fireballs in the New Mexico sky. This isn't a leak. This isn't a theory. This is the United States government on the record, releasing its own files. Before we get into it, if you're new here, welcome. This channel covers real declassified files and the stories governments tried to keep buried, and this one just landed less than 24 hours ago. If you want to see more of these breakdowns as they happen, consider subscribing. It really does help this channel keep going. And if you've got a theory of your own about any of this, drop it in the comments. I read everyone. Now, let's get into what was actually released. Since May of this year, the Pentagon has been releasing batches of historical and recent records tied to what the government now officially calls Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, UAP. It's part of a transparency order signed by President Trump earlier in 2026. This is the 4th release so far, and officials have already confirmed more are coming. What makes this batch different is the mix. It isn't just old, dusty archive material. About half of these files are dated 2010 or later, meaning some of what's now public happened well within recent memory. One of the most striking documents comes from the Department of Energy. In September 2015, security personnel at the Pantex nuclear weapons facility near Amarillo, Texas, one of the most secure sites in the entire country, reported an unidentified object entering their airspace. The facility went into lockdown. 2 officers pursued the object in a vehicle. They never caught up to it, but what they described afterward is what makes this file stand out. The object made no sound at all. Through binoculars, they searched for any visible propulsion system, engines, exhaust, anything that would explain how it was moving. They found nothing. After a minute or two, it simply continued north and left the area. Then there's the account from 2019 from a military aviator with 28 years of combined Air Force and Navy service. In his own written debrief, he described spotting an object below his aircraft, moving in a straight line at high speed, the opposite direction from his own flight path. He tracked it for roughly 10 to 15 seconds before switching on a recorder. When he tried to zoom in for a clearer image, the object moved out of frame entirely, and he was never able to find it again, even at a wider zoom. Analysis after the flight suggested the object had a rectangular shape. Other experienced personnel on board reviewed the footage. None of them could identify what it was either. A separate incident from 2020, documented by a Navy Weapons Systems officer over the Atlantic Ocean, described an object roughly 12 to 15 feet tall, dark maroon in color, with a structure the officer compared to a large misshapen balloon, though the crew was never able to confirm that description before their aircraft passed it at close range. Several lines of that officer's report remain redacted to this day. Perhaps the most unexpected document in this release isn't a video or a modern report at all. It's a transcript from 1949. That year, a group of top American physicists, some of whom had worked directly on the Manhattan Project, gathered in Los Alamos, New Mexico, to try to explain a series of unexplained green fireballs appearing over the nuclear laboratory. One theory suggested meteors, but a prominent astronomer in the room pushed back, noting that nothing resembling what they'd witnessed had ever been recorded in any known meteor shower. The transcript ends without a clear answer, a question left open by some of the most brilliant scientific minds of the 20th century. The newest incidents in this release come from 2025, near the Yellow Sea and East China Sea, tracked by U.S. military sensors under Indo-Pacific Command. One sensor recorded what analysts described as a contrast pattern resembling a six-pointed star. Another tracked an unidentified object for several continuous minutes before losing contact. The Pentagon has been careful to say one thing clearly: none of this is being presented as proof of anything extraterrestrial. These are simply the files, unresolved, unexplained, and now, for the first time, public. And officials have already confirmed this isn't the last release. More files are coming. So here's the real question worth sitting with. If this is what the government was willing to declassify and hand over voluntarily, what's still sitting in the files they haven't gotten to yet? If this kind of story is exactly what you come here for, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next declassification the moment it drops. And if you found this one interesting, a like on this video genuinely helps more people see it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.